Hello everyone, it's been a while here. My name is Fred. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So I'm going to be starting a series, series of upload on auxiliary projection. So this video is like an introduction to auxiliary. I'm going to be explaining the concept of auxiliary projection to broaden your understanding of the subject of the topic rather. Okay, so please, I need you to watch this page because I'm going to be uploading series of auxiliary projection related questions. I'm going to be attempting a whole lot of why questions and NECO questions as well, and we're going to be looking at it together. But before then, let me first of all explain a few things. Let me settle off a few things that has to do with auxiliary. Okay, so now take a look at this object. All right, okay. So I will come back to this. I just want to explain. Now, if this object is in space, now look at this. These are planes. Okay, so now this is a paper. 3 planes. Now this is a what? A horizontal plane, HP. This is a vertical plane 1, VP1. And this is another vertical plane 2, VP2. Okay, so I have it in this position, and now you have this object in space. Okay. Now, if I have this object in space like this, assuming my hands, they're not there, just in space. If I view in this direction, whatever I see is called what? Is an elevation. Okay, so let me assume that this is an end elevation. So that makes this what? A front elevation. So if I stand here and I view, whatever I see is my front elevation. So I will draw it on this plane. Whatever I'm seeing, I will draw it on that plane. So if I move from this point and I come to this other side and view, whatever I see, I would draw it on this other vertical plane here, okay? Because this is also a plane. All right, so now if I go back here, this is my initial position, and I move up and I view, whatever I see, I would draw it on this plane, this horizontal plane, and that is my plan. So whatever I view from here and I draw on this plane is my front elevation. I move from this side and I view, whatever I draw here is my plan. Sorry, is my end elevation, like the view from here. Now if I draw it here is my end elevation, and I come back here and move to the top and I view, whatever I draw is my plan. Okay, so if I spread this out like this, now remember, whatever I view in this form is my, I'm going to draw here, so that's my what? Elevation. Okay, which is what you're seeing here. Okay, let's go back again. So if I move to this side, remember this is in space. If I move to this side and I view, whatever I draw here, whatever I view, I will draw here, which is my what? My end elevation, which is what you're seeing here. Okay, a rectangle and another one. All right, and the plan. So I'm standing in this form and I view from the top. Sorry about that. Having issues with setting this properly. Okay. All right. So whatever I view from here is my plan. So I will draw here, which is this plan. So that's just it. Now, these views you are viewing, they are perpendicular to the surface. Now, these are orthographic views. All right. Now, this is where auxiliary comes into play. Auxiliary is neither here, because we are viewing perpendicularly. This is front elevation. It's an elevation. If you are viewing from the side perpendicularly and you are drawing on this plane, this is what? Another what view, that is end elevation. Okay, because it is perpendicular to this surface. Perpendicular to this surface. Now I'm moving here and I'm viewing perpendicular to this surface. It's called plan. Now, if I now move from here, instead of viewing perpendicular to this surface, I decide to move to an angle here. Something like this. Now, this becomes what? An auxiliary view. Let me put it in a way that you will understand. Okay, so I am not viewing like this, perpendicularly to get my end elevation here. No. Instead, I am moving from this angle and I'm viewing at this angle. So that means I am going to have to create a plane for it here, where I'm going to draw it. And the plane has to be perpendicular to the view. So you see this plane, this is the view, so it's perpendicular. You see this plane now, that is where I'm going to now draw my what? Auxiliary view. So whatever view I am seeing in this form, okay, I need to create a plane perpendicular to it. Remember, in this view, this plane is perpendicular to it, as you can see. Okay. In this view, which is plan, this is plan, okay, this plane is perpendicular to it. You can see it's perpendicular. All right. Same as this view. Let me go back. If I'm viewing like this, okay, it is perpendicular to this plane. Okay. Now, if I'm not viewing this object, not in this form, perpendicularly, no. Not in this form, perpendicularly, no. Not in this form, perpendicularly, no. But at an angle other than 90 degrees. So, if I'm going to be viewing at this angle, I need to create a plane for it that is perpendicular to it and put it at the back and draw whatever I see on this plane. That makes it what? Auxiliary what? View. So whatever you draw here becomes what? Auxiliary projection. So the plane, if I should flatten it, is going to be in this form. So let me take this and transfer into this drawing here. Okay, so this is the third plane here, the auxiliary plane. That's what you're seeing here. All right. Okay, good. Now, listen up. Okay, so this is it. So remember, front elevation will give you this. Plan will give you this. So you can see. End elevation will give you this. Okay, it's rectangle on top and this at the bottom. Now back. Now auxiliary will give you this. Did you get that? Auxiliary will give you this. So you see this line is visible. That is why this is visible. This one, that is this here, is visible to you. That is why this one is visible. Now this one is visible. That is why this is visible. And also this is visible to you. This one. That is why this is visible. But you see this one at the back. This. If you're viewing from the side, this is invisible. You can't see it from here, as you can see from here. So it's somewhere here. And it is what? Invisible. Which is why that's this part here. It's broken, hidden details. I hope this explains and broadens your understanding on the topic auxiliary projection. So let me move to the second phase now. Okay, so now whatever you draw, whenever you're having elevation, so let's disregard this end elevation. We're only going to be working with what? Because most auxiliary questions, they bring just elevation and plans. That's all. Okay, sometimes they bring elevation and end elevation, but it's still fine. Now, whatever you project from your plan, okay, let's start with the elevation. This is the elevation. Whatever you project from your elevation gives you an auxiliary plan. So ordinary elevation will give you what? An auxiliary plan. Now, ordinary plan will give you what? An auxiliary elevation. So if, for example, now I'm given, remember this is projected at an angle. Let's say angle X. That is why these lines are moving in this direction. Okay, so this is the arrow. Now, if I'm to project at an angle here, let's say angle Y. Okay, so I'm going to draw lines perpendicular, at an angle Y in this form. Okay, and I'm going to draw a line perpendicular to it, which is my XX line, and project. Don't worry, you get to understand what that line means later. Okay, so whatever I project from this plan will give me what? An auxiliary what? Elevation. So plan gives an elevation, but the auxiliary, ordinary elevation gives what? Plan, but the auxiliary. I hope that's clear. All right, so let's start with by attempting some very simple questions. Okay, so here is a question. Now this is a very simple question, but we have to move from the simple to the complex, so we'll attempt this first. Now it says the diagram shows the elevation and plan of a rectangular base prism. So this is the elevation, this is the plan. That means it's in our first angle projection. So one, copy the given views. So we're going to copy these views. Then two, draw the auxiliary elevation in the direction of arrow K. Okay, so it's at 45 degrees arrow K. All right, so we're going to draw the auxiliary elevation. That means you have to draw it from the plan. I told you plan will produce what? An auxiliary elevation. While ordinary elevation will produce what? An auxiliary plan. Okay, so we're going to use this dimension to produce the elevation and plan on this side. Okay, so you start by drawing, just draw a horizontal line first. Draw a horizontal line. So we're told this is 35. So we're going to measure 35. That's 3.5. So this is 0. And this is 3.5. So I'm going to draw it thick line. Okay, I'm starting with what? The plan. Alright, so I'm going to draw perpendiculars to these points. So align, move this upward a little bit. Align your set square with the horizontal line here. Once you're satisfied, you support with your ruler. So okay, so you transfer to this point here. Draw a thin line up. Transfer to this other point. I assume you already know how to do all of this, but I just have to go through the process so you can understand as well. Okay, so align your set square with this horizontal here. Support with your ruler and transfer. Okay, before I do that, let me first of all measure the thickness, which is 20. So this is 20. Alright, so I'm going to transfer a line here. So align your set square and transfer a line to 20. So I'm going to draw a thick line at once. Okay, so I'm going to give a little space to draw my elevation. So just give any distance of your choice, any distance, and draw the base of the elevation. Sorry. Okay, so I'm going to draw the outline of my plan. The outline of my plan. Alright, so we're told that the height is 60. So I'm going to measure 60. So this is 60. So I'll draw a thick line at once, and I'll transfer lines to where I have 60. And draw this part as well, and I'll draw this thick line. So that's the elevation, and this is the plan. All right, so now when I'm going to show you a method that you will be able to apply to unraveling any question that has to do with auxiliary. Okay, so peradventure you are used to a certain method, no problem, but you can add this to what you know. So what you do first is try and define this object, the elevation, and transfer same to the plan. You may as well start with the plan and transfer same to the what? To the elevation. So you define it. So what do I mean by defining it? Now you can label the edges, give them a certain number. Do you understand? Give them a certain number, so it will help you in the process of what? Drawing the auxiliary elevation or plan. So just follow me. All right? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to call this 1. I'm going to call this 2. I'll call this 3 and 4. All right? Good. So I'm going to transfer same to the bottom. Now let me use this. So this is like a rectangular base prism. Now remember, this is what? 4. As you can see here, 4, 3, 1, 2. So 4, 3, 1, 2. Now this 4 you see here is the same thing as this other point here, 4. So there are 2 of them. So if I'm moving to the plan, what do I have here? I have 4, 4. This is what? 3, 3, 3. Okay? Because I'm viewing it in this form. So I'm only seeing 3, 3. So I'm only seeing 1, 3. But there is another one at the back. Okay, so here is 2. So if this is 2, so I have 2, 2. Right? But I'm only seeing 1. Then this is 1. So 1 and another 1 here. All right. So now that's what it is. So this is, if I now move to the top, what am I having here? I'm having 4 4. What am I having at the bottom here? 1 1 1 1. So on the plan, what am I having here? I'm having 4 4 1 1, because you will be seeing both the bottom and the top as a single line here. So the bottom and top. So you have what? 4 and 1. So you have 4 comma 1 on this point, 4 comma 1 here. Here you have 3 comma 2. Here you have also 3 comma 2. So 3. Okay. 2. So you have 3 2. So you have 3 2 here, which is this 3 2. Remember, you have another one here, 3 2 here, 3 2, which is this 3 2. Here you have 4 1 for the front, 4 1. So for this point here, you have 4 1 here, and for this back, you also have 4 1. So 4 1 4 1. So if you view it from the top, this is 4 1, this is 4 1, because you have 4 here, 1 here. So 4 1, this is this 4 1 you're seeing here. You have 4 here, you have 1 here, but you're seeing it as single line, which is 4 1. That's why I said 4 comma 1. I hope this is clear. Once you have defined the object in this form, you are good to go. All right, let's continue. All right, so we're told that it was what? Projected at an angle of 45 degrees. So since you already have a set square of 45 degrees, it's fine. We'll just make use of that. Now your focus will now be on what? On the plan. So use your 45 degrees to draw lines from all the corners of the plan. Okay. So align your set square with this horizontal and place your 45 degree set square like this. So you can start with a line and draw the other ones later. So draw from this edge, thin line, not thick. Transfer to this other one here. So it's fine. I will transfer the other lines. So align your set square with any of the line you have transferred. Either this one or this one. They are all parallel. So I'm going to align my set square. I'd like to extend this. Thin lines, don't forget. Then I will transfer line here, and transfer line here. All right. Once you're done with this, you move to the next phase. Now these lines that you have drawn, you are going to draw another line, okay, which you can label either YY or XX line, okay. That's the beginning of the auxiliary projection that you want to draw. So you just give it what, like a plane or a line if you like, okay, where you will start the drawing from. And the line has to be perpendicular to these lines you have drawn. So you can achieve that by using your set square. So how? Just align your set square with any of the line in this form at any point of your choice, wherever you want to start. So you align it like this, so you can see this is aligned. Now if I draw any line here, this line is perpendicular to what? All of these lines, okay? So, but because the edge of my set square is broken, instead of using here as reference, I would like to use here. So I will move it in a little bit. So I'm going to align this with my set square. Any of the lines, you can actually use any of the lines, okay? Any convenient distance of your choice. Just ensure it doesn't encroach into this elevation. So this is properly aligned, and any line I draw here now is perpendicular. So this is the XX line I'm talking about. Okay, you draw a thin line as well. So this is where I will start my drawing from. Now the next question is, where will I get the height of whatever I'm going to draw here? Now let me tell you this, pay attention. If you are drawing auxiliary elevation, you know you are projecting from the plan. Take the height, the total height of the plan, of the elevation, sorry, and move to the auxiliary. So I am projecting from plan, right? To get my elevation, right? You take the height of what? The plan, and you move. You transfer it rather to the what? The auxiliary. Now let's assume that you're drawing auxiliary plan. So if you are drawing auxiliary plan, now remember you are drawing from the elevation. So if I draw my lines down in this form, I'm going to take the height of what plan and move to the side. So don't worry, by the time we start treating auxiliary plan, you understand. So how do you get the height? Simple. Transfer lines. So align your set square with a horizontal. Transfer horizontal lines from all the corners. So we only have 2 corners there. All right, so once you're done, align your set square and draw a perpendicular. The line has to be perpendicular to this line here. Thin line. These are thin lines. Okay, so this is what we're about to transfer. This height we're about to transfer here. So I'm going to label it. Now the question is, what do you have here? We have 1 and 2, right? So I'm going to write 1, 2. That's what I'm writing here. So we have 4 and 3. So I'm going to write 4, 3. I hope that's clear. Good. Now get your pair of compass or pair of divider, as the case may be. Okay, so with your pair of divider, transfer this height, this total height. So you need here, which is actually 60. So you transfer this height and move it here, starting from this base. So you needle here, and you get the other point here. You get the other point here. So that's it. So remember, this is the other point here. So that's all. So what you do next is transfer lines. This x line here. Transfer it to this point and draw a thin line. So you are good. Now remember, you transfer this. So what do you have here? 1, 2. What do you have on the top? 3, 4. So transfer it like this. So you have 1, 2 here. You have 3, 4 here. So reproduce those numbers here. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Write this properly. Okay. I hope you are following. All right. Now let's draw the auxiliary. Now remember, these are thin lines, because you might have reason to erase them part of the lines later. Now this is how you go about it. I'm going to show you a method that you can apply. Now if you look at this object, okay, it's a 3D object. You have height. You can decide to choose to call this your height or your length, whichever definition you want to give to it. It's fine. So you have height, you have length, or rather you can say you have length, you have breadth, and you have thickness. So let's use those: length, breadth, and what? Thickness. I hope this is clear. So I'm going to deal with each of them to be able to get my what? Auxiliary. So which one did we choose first? Let's choose length first. So I'm going to settle off all length. I will now move to breadth and move to thickness. Now if you view this, if you look at this very well, you can only see length from the elevation. Remember, this is what we are referring to as our length. You can choose to call it height, maybe h, whichever definition you give to it. So this is the length. So we're going to settle off all of this. Then this breadth, this is what we're referring to as breadth. So any line that is moving in this form, they are all breadth. We're going to settle off everything. Then the thickness, you can see breadth both on plan and in the elevation. You can only see length on the plan. The length is not here because the length is coming up this way. So it's coming up this way, so you can't see it from the plan. Then the thickness, you can only see it from on the plan. You can't see the thickness here because the thickness is actually coming out, okay, from this paper, so you can't see it there. But it doesn't matter. Just wherever you see length, breadth, thickness, you can work with it. So let's start with this. So what is this? We are dealing with all length, isn't it? Now the question is, where are all the length? We have 1 to 4 and 3 to what? 2. So come to this auxiliary and do the same thing you are seeing here. What I mean is this: you have 1 joined to 4, isn't it? So you come here. Where is 1? Come here, just follow the line and move to the auxiliary. You have 1 here and you have 4 here. What is happening here? They joined 1 to 4. So come over here and also join 1 to 4. You get? So draw thick lines here. Join 1 to 4. Now remember, there is another 1 to 4 at the back. I told you there are two of them. 1 to 4, 1. Another 1 to 4 at the back. So where is it? The first 1 to 4, you can find it here. This is it. 4 1 or 1 4, whichever one. We have drawn it. Where is the second one? Is on this side. 1 to 4 joined. So you trace. Where is 1? You trace 1 1. This is 1. This is it here. Sorry about that. So on same line. Sorry, this is 1. Then 4. Remember, this is 4. So you follow the same line. Wherever you see 4, this is 4. What is happening? They joined it, right? You join 1 to 4 as well. Remember, you are viewing from here at an angle 45 degrees. Now, remember, we are dealing with all the length. This is what we call our length. Okay, so we are not done here. So now let's move to this other side. Let's move to this other side. 2 to 3. 2 joined to 3. So we have it here. 2 to 3, 1. There is another one at the back, which is this one. 2 to 3. So this one is at the back, this one is at the front. So this 2 to 3, 2 to 3 up, 2 to 3. As you can see here. So you just trace. 2 is joined to 3. So you follow. So, okay, let's start with this one. 2. There is 2 here. That's it. Follow. Where is 3? There is 3 here. What is happening? They were joined. So you join it. Thick line. Now the last one is this one. Another 2 to 3 at the back. Don't forget. Which is this point here. Now remember, if you are standing and you are viewing from this form, from this part here, you will be seeing this edge. You will be seeing this edge. You will be seeing this edge. Remember, you can see it. You can see it. You can see it. But you can't see this edge is behind you. Remember, this is like this. This is standing like this. So you are viewing. Let me put it in a way that you will understand. Okay, good. You are standing. You are viewing like this, 45. You can see this edge. You can see this edge here, this one. Because you are standing here, don't forget. You are still standing here, you can see this edge. But this one is hidden from you. It's at your back. So you can't see it. Which is what? This one. This one. The other one at this point. Alright? So it becomes what? 2 joined to 3 broken lines. It's hidden detail. So we cannot draw a full line. So you have to be what? Hidden details. So that's it. So we are done with what? Vertical. Sorry, length. Now the next one is what? The breadth. Now this is what we refer to as breadth. You can see breadth both on elevation and plan. So let's treat breadth. Now from here you can see this is breadth and this is breadth. Okay? So what is happening here? 1 is joined to 2 and 4 is joined to 2. Sorry, 4 joins to 3 at the top. So let's deal with 1 to 2 first. 1, where is 1? This is 1. Joined to 2. You can see it joined. 1 joined to 2. Where is 2? 2 is still on this line, which is this point. What is happening to them? They were joined. So you also come here and also join 1 to 2. So you do that. Join with thick line. Now we've done for the first one. Now there is another one. 1 to 2 on the other side. This is it. 1 to 2, 1. There is another one. Okay, this is the one we just did. The one at the back. So we'll do for the one at the front. 1 join to 2. You trace. Wherever you see 1 here, you dot. So this is 1 because there's 1 here. Now this is 2. 2 is still on this line. 2. What's happening? 1 is joined to 2. So come here and join this 1 to 2. So that gives you a complete straight line. Now let's move to the top. 3 to 4. So 3. Or 4 joined to 3. So 4 is joined to 3. So you trace. Where is 4? Just follow the line. This is 4. Join to what? 3. Follow the line. 3. So 4 joined to 3. 4 joined to 3. That's the top now. So you come and join 4 to 3. Alright. Then we have another 4 to 3 at the top, the one at the back. 4 to 3. So you trace 4. This is 4 because we have 4 here. 3. This is 3 because we have 3 here also. So you join. And that gives you a straight line. Now we are done with the thickness, the breadth. Now let's move to the thickness, which is this one. Now you will discover that everything has already been drawn. So, but let's follow it. Like I told you, you can only find the thickness on what? On the plan. So this is, we have one thickness here. 1 joined to 1 and 4 joined to 4. Then we have another one here, 2 joined to 2 and 3 joined to 3. So you can see it here. 1 joined to 1 for the top, for the bottom, and 4 joined to 4 for the top. 3 joined to 3 for the top, and 2 joined to 2 for the bottom. I hope that's clear. So just trace. So what are we dealing with first? 1 joined to 1. So 1 joined to 1. So we are so wherever you see 1, you stop. 1. This is 1. We have a dot there. Another 1. This is also 1. You join. It has already been joined. What's the next one? 4 joined to 4. So 4. This is 4. Another 4. 4. It has already been joined. We've drawn it. Now we move to the other one. 2 joined to 2. This is it. 2 joined to 2. 2 is on this line. 2, 2, 2 here. You join. 3 joined to 3. That's 3 to 3. You trace 3 is on this line. 3. Another 3 here. You join. And that's it. So this is your what? Your auxiliary what? Elevation. Okay. Now I'm going to be uploading other videos as well that why questions, okay, why related questions, to further explain the concept of what auxiliary. So if you didn't understand, go back to the beginning and watch all over. But as you continue to watch more examples that I'm going to be treating, you will have a clearer understanding of what auxiliary is all about. Thanks for watching. I'll come your way again. Bye.